Kolossos is an upcoming executioner for Outcome Memories version 0.2, along with Tripwire and Fleetway. However, his full moveset and passive have been fully leaked, along with the ability icons, and today I'll be explaining all of these in detail, so let's begin. Starting off with his passive, which is Climb, and as the name suggests, he jumps onto a wall and can start climbing it at a really fast pace, using both his hands. It's a really cool animation, and it shows these sort of ladders that he used to climb. So as you can see there, he jumps onto a wall and he can start climbing it. This is really good against Tails, Knuckles and Cream's mains because of their gliding ability, which can easily be avoided when people are using Kolossos. Now on to his basic attack, which has quite a big hitbox because he hits with the spiked hand he has. It has a decent hitbox, probably will have a longer cooldown, but it does 55 damage, which can two-shot most survivors, excluding survivors like Sonic and Metal Sonic. I believe those two being the only exception. It can two-shot every other character. His first move is charged with a cooldown of probably about 25 seconds. It hasn't been finalized yet, but this may be the most overpowered move out of his kit so far. He takes a stance for a second and then goes into a charge, running in the direction that the player is facing. So sort of like the charge for what's it called, normal 2011X, except he goes far, he runs far. Like you can go across like quite a decent portion of X's castle with it. And the second he hits a survivor, it will impale them, dealing 25 damage and can stack up to 3 survivors. Then with this, he can crash into a wall and will make them take an additional 25 damage, which does 50 in total. I believe this can be stunned, but I'm not entirely sure, but either way it's a really overpowered move. On to Kolossos' second ability, which is Grab, with a cooldown of probably 25 seconds, still not finalized. This causes him to lunge quite a far distance, as you can see in the video playing, and then pushes his right arm, the spiked one, into the survivor and grabbing them. I do not believe this does any damage, but if you spam M1s or click with your mouse, that's when it does damage. For each hit he does, it does 12 damage, and there's a slight cooldown between each punch you can do, but it's probably going to be about 1.5 seconds, it won't be long, and you can just keep stunning this until the survivor is able to escape. Indicator is the third ability in Kolossos' kit, sort of like sonic.exe the disaster as well, where his vision will turn red and he will be unable to use his abilities, but he will see the location of all survivors in current time. Like if they move, it'll still show it. It's not like a one and done thing. He can see for a good 6.5 seconds apparently. It makes him slightly slower. He can't use his abilities, but it's really overpowered. And during Last Man Standing, it is buffed so that like he won't be slow and he will be able to use his abilities. Vision will still turn red, but he won't be slow or have most of those nerfs. By far the most cool thing about this is the block ability, the fourth and final ability, with a cooldown of 35 seconds if missed and 20 seconds if landed, which isn't finalized again. This is when he enters a defensive stance and it will glow white, giving him immunity to all stuns while being slowed, and won't be able to use his punch attack and abilities. But the block lasts for 3.5 seconds, and if he is hit by an attack, he can react in 2 different ways depending on the range. If he's hit by a short stun like Knuckles' punch, he will block it and retaliate with another attack, ramming forwards and sending any survivors into a ragdoll state. However, if he is hit by a long range stuns, he will block it and throw a ginormous boulder to the survivor. Both attacks will deal 35 or so damage. To end off the video, here's his current abilities and their icons for you to see. First we have the charge, then the grab, then the indicator, and finally the block. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching and see you next time.